So a quick word on how we're gonna learn to communicate with our dogs. So your dog does not speak English, they don't speak German, they don't speak French, they don't speak Spanish. Your dog does not speak the human language. So when you start training by shouting, sit, 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 down, 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 use all these different tones, you might throw in your body language, right? Like, hey, we're sit like this, hey, come on. We're doing all this kind of unnecessary stuff right now with them. It will only further confuse your dog, and your training down the road is gonna look very sloppy, and the dog is gonna be highly confused by you. That's the last thing that we want. So here's how you're going to build a proper language system with your dog so you can better communicate with them and be an effective handler. Language number one is food luring. So food luring is we have a piece of food in our hands that the dog finds very valuable. It's easy to eat, it's quick to chew for them. It's not like a big hard biscuit that's gonna take 5 minutes to crunch on. And you're gonna basically put that to their nose and guide them into a certain position. So for example, for sit, we usually lift up like this until their booty hits the ground. Down, we guide them into the down position until their bellies hit the ground. Same for spin, same for a ton of tricks and a lot of other behaviors. The part that everybody gets stuck on about food luring is they say, my dog only performs the behavior if they see a piece of food in my hand. Well, I hate to say it, but that is exactly what you've taught by accident. We use a food lure to get the behavior we want. We name the behavior with typically an English word, and then we fade away from the food lure. Food is no longer in our hands when we're asking our dog to sit, down, place, come, things like that. Notice I'm not doing this. Hey, sit, 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 down, 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 come, come, come. None of that is how I train dogs. So food lure is number one. Number two is leash pressure language. The leash pressure language is not something your dog is familiar with right now. Yes, they might be feeling tension on the leash here and there because you're tugging on it in all certain kinds of directions and probably saying a couple of things to them and they still don't know what you want. So we want to fix that by teaching them leash pressure in a certain direction means a certain behavior. So why would I teach my dog leash pressure in the first place? Leash pressure language is so important to dog training. Most likely when you're out and about in the world, you're gonna have a leash on your dog. So it's important that they understand if you pull the leash in a certain direction, they know what behavior that is. Because if not, they're just gonna blow through all of that kind of tension and they might actually get very frustrated, which leads to poor communication skills. So for example, let's say I'm trying to teach my dog how to sit using leash pressure language. Note that I've already taught them how to sit using a food lure, and no, I have not said sit quite yet. I have not given the verbal command. I would put steady pressure upwards on the leash with my dog, straight up into the air, nice and steady, not hard and firm and jerking them around like that, just nice and steady. And then I'm gonna get my food lure out again and guide them into the position. So once they sit, once their booty hits the ground, then I'm going to release tension from the leash and also tell them yes, and then I'm gonna let them break the position and get the food. So that's a little bit about leash pressure. We use it for sit, down, come, which is recall, and place. Now for the third language of verbal command. Verbal commands can be very hard for our dogs to pick up and understand. So that's why I said at the beginning, if you're just shouting all of these English words and they have no idea what you're saying, they don't, then stop doing that. You need food lure first, leash pressure second, and then we're gonna layer in our verbal commands on top of all of that. That sequence of how trainers train dogs is how we're gonna build an effective communication system. Without following those steps, you're gonna fall behind, your dog is gonna get confused, you're gonna get frustrated, they're gonna get frustrated, and you're not gonna have a good relationship. We're gonna break all of those behaviors down in a separate video. Thanks for watching, and I hope this really helps you understand how we need to build a communication system with our dogs and the importance of it.